Is some of you came to us in middle school, not very successful, and then we watched him grow and mature, and most recently he came to me and asked if he could teach a class and make it a movie at 16. And I said, sure, why not? And he single-handedly taught this incredible class with about 15 students from 6th grade to 12th grade in it, a group of kids that I'm not sure I could control. And they were riveted, they loved it, and he is an amazing young man and a born teacher in my view. Morgan, come on up.
Ever since I was 3 years old, Dublin, California gave me a safe place to live, a great view, and many people who I truly love. There is no Dublin school, however, that I can really call my home. Venture has that to claim. My fellow Venture graduates, we're here today for a reason. And I'm sure many of you can relate when I say that there was a time when I knew that this day would never come. And the schools at the time told me so. They said, you're different, you learn our way. You learn our way or not at all. And this made me feel not too good. And my grade point average was pretty low. It was like 1.0 or maybe the 1 wasn't there, maybe it was 0.0. It was a non-existent grade point average. And then I walked into the doors of what looked like from the outside to be a pillow factory. And I had a talk with a man named Ron Houston. And Ron told me how Venture worked. And I thought it was too good to be true. And there had to be a catch. And there was a catch. 4 years later, they took out the vending machines. Pretty horrible. In my opinion. It's actually my most horrible experience at Venture. So I can say my 4 years at Venture was pretty good. Venture transformed me personally, and many of you most likely. And you know, I never thought I would be here today graduating back in 8th grade when I had no grade point average. A lot of people look at graduation as the final step. Once you graduate, you don't have to do anything, you don't have any responsibility. Well, it's quite the opposite. When you graduate, you have 5, 10, 100 times more responsibility than you did before you graduated. Another thing people make the mistake of doing is, when they graduate, there's 3 of them. When they graduate high school, when they graduate college, and when they get married. Those 3 things people think are the end of some sort of road. And from a certain point of view, they are. But I need to encourage every one of you, no matter how successful you get, never stop growing. No matter how much you achieve, whether you end world hunger, or end the spread of AIDS, or eliminate AIDS from the earth entirely, it's the little things that matter. The little deeds, whether it's holding a door open for someone or giving a random stranger a compliment. Somebody having a bad hair day would love hearing, hey, you have cool hair. It's the deeds that we can all do no matter how poor we are. Poor financially, not spiritually or emotionally. But never let anyone tell you that you can't do it. If you're different, like me, and you don't like listening to the teacher's boring lectures, because honestly, you have better things to think about. Like, I like to think about, what the universe wants me to do next, or God, or Earth, or whatever you want to call it. But never stop growing. Never think you know it all. Never think that there's nothing more that you can learn. I'm going to tell you the story of Captain Sheridan. Captain Sheridan was a really, really strict Army captain. He was old and grouchy. He'd been through it all. He had many near-death experiences, but he never died. And I'll tell you why. He had all his soldiers and all his men do all his simplistic chores for him. Polish his shoes, iron his clothes. He could have done it himself, but he didn't. He had his men do it for him because they were afraid of him. And if they got out of line, he knew how to get them back in line. And one day, one of Captain Sheridan's men noticed that in the pile of dirty socks, mind you, all the soldiers washed their own socks. In the pile of dirty socks, there was a pair of socks that said Captain Sheridan on them. And so this man who sees this pair of socks goes to Captain Sheridan and says, "Sir, why are your socks in the pair of dirty socks? Don't you have somebody to wash your socks for you?" He says, "No, I wash my own socks." You want to know why I'm still alive? Because at the end of the day, I always have something to do. I always have socks to wash. No matter how much you achieve, always grow. It's the best part of life when there's still mystery and still magic. I'm sorry, I don't want to leave that here. If you accomplish everything today, what's the point of tomorrow? Don't work to retire. Work because you want to do what you want to do. I'm going to leave you guys, class of 2008, with a quote from a poem that you've most likely heard. To strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. Thank you, class of 2008.
Nobody lose Venture. Venture will stay with you forever.